Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is a design team project for Tsunami Rose Designs, who you can find on Etsy, Facebook and her blog. I'll include the links in the description below, so please do check out the sites. Very affordable kits. So this month I've decided to go with the Jane Austen kit. We were given free rein on what kit to choose, and this is something that's out of my comfort zone. I wouldn't usually attempt something like this, but I thought I wanted to challenge myself this month. So I hope you like my my attempt at this journal, and I've not managed to include all the ideas I originally had, just because this kit worked so well with so many other kits that I just kept adding more and more things. Excuse me. And it just got this chunky again. But I'm hoping whoever receives this really likes it. That image isn't from Tsunami Rose, that's from, I think it's Chrissy Designs or Kirsty Designs. I'll include a link to her Etsy store as well. But I just thought it reminded me of any character from any of Jane Austen's book. It just works so well. So the cover is made from a wallpaper. It's a textured wallpaper. I'm not sure how well the camera will pick it up, and I'm afraid I can't see the camera because I've set it up a bit high above. So got a nameplate here which you can write any title or date on. I've put some lace on, and I've added the pearls and the bling on myself. There's tiny little gems there and some pearls up just to enhance that. And then that's the back cover. An eyelet closure with some organza lace and curved spine, some fun fibres peeping through there and some ribbon. And then I've tried these dangles now. I know how popular it is with popping these on the garment pins, but I didn't have any, so I've just used some jewellery findings to attach these, so they're kind of permanently attached, but you could remove them carefully and add them onto a charm if you have it. So there's lots of little dangly bits there and beads. There's a ribbon bookmark as well. I'll just see if I can get you the measurements. The actual cover's about 6 inches by approximately 8.5, but with the curved spine you're looking more at about 7 inches. So get on in anyway inside the book and show you what I've been up to. It does sit very nice and flat as well, so that's just to show you. It does all open up the way I've designed it. So we've got a crochet pocket in the front and the back. These include Tsunami Rose's library card. That's from her postcard kits that she's just released. And that's from the Jane Austen. That's it. These are all printed on tea-stained and baked papers. So the colours are slightly muted, but that's the effect I wanted to go for. I didn't want too grungy, but it might just have gone like that. I don't own the stamps that say this book belongs to or this journal belongs to, so I've actually stamped that individual letters to say this journal belongs to, so you could either put down your own name, or if it's a gift to someone you could just pop your small message under their name as well there. I've done a lot of sewing in here as well, and some of the threads have been left quite long, so you could cut them down or trim them off completely if you wanted. I'll leave that up to you. That's a Rita Donnelly flip up tuck spot, and I've used a Martha Stewart punch on that. Not sure what I want to add on that, so I've just left it blank for now. You might just receive it like that, because I can't make up my mind whether I want a button, a flower, or a butterfly. So these are what's inside. That's one of Tsunami Rose's kits that I've just shrunk down. That's part of the Jane Austen kits. It's the tags. Just added a bit of fun fibre there. And these are the big element cards, which I've just shrunk down to turn into a little flip book and journaling spot. That's from a different kit. Done some stamping. There's some Tim Holtz stenciling there as well. That's a baking paper. No, it's not. I don't think it's going to pick up the effect, but it's what I was doing the tea staining on. So there's a lot more texture and colour to it. There's lots of different laces as well. There's pom-pom lace there. There's a few different coloured laces. And I can't remember if I used any ribbon. There's this rick-rack one here. It's one of the pockets that I saw by Patricia on here on YouTube. That's a mason jar from one of Tsunami Rose's kits. That's the Jane Austen kit. And that's another postcard from the new release. I just stuck a little flower there. Now this, I didn't glue it down on this side, so it's easy for you to pull out and put whatever you want in the back. So that's some lined paper, plenty of journaling spaces there. That's a different kit of Tsunami Roses, things to do, and it's actually an envelope page, and inside we've got a shrunk down calendar planner, and that's one of the other ephemera pieces from her kit. They've all been, these ones I think I've just inked them, they're on cream cardstock. It's a lightweight cardstock. That's another one of her kits. Martha Stewart punch there. This was inspired by Nazi over on Amity Bloom. Love her work. It's encouraging me to try more fabrics in my journals as well. So just some braid there, and then a few different cotton samples and pieces there. You've got your journaling spot underneath. You could put on some pins and things as well if you wanted to turn this into a sewing journal. That's the shrunk down card from Tsunami Rose's kits. That's from the Jane Austen. I was originally going to use Pride and Prejudice book pages in here, and then I changed my mind because I thought there's lots of other books as well, and if you're a fan of one of her other works, maybe you'd want to include something of your own from there. That's just a flip up and flip down. That's something I've seen Yvonne Preston do. Just added a bit of lace there. Some lace along the side here. As I was saying, there's lots of other kits. This is something I wanted to try. Sorry, I keep getting distracted by my own. It's got a 3D effect like this, because what I've done is it's the same page that I've printed on tracing paper as well. You could just washi up two edges and use it as a pocket, and you'll have that slightly a transparent look. Or like this, I thought it looks like a mirror image, as in she's seeing a reflection. It could be on a glass pane or an actual mirror. That's just some coloured paper that I like including. That's a different one of her kits. This is a fake pocket. It's actually 2 pages. That's squared paper, and then that's plain paper. And then inside I've added a different one of her kits envelopes. I've used these in a shrunk down size in other journals, so you probably recognise it. And this one's got the quote, "You are so much stronger than you think," which I think a lot of the ladies in Jane Austen's books were. As I was saying, you don't have to use this as a Jane Austen book as well. You could use it for maybe Charles Dickens or maybe the Bronte sisters. If you like any of their books, you could adjust and customise this to suit those as well. That's a dangle there. I'm just playing around with. This is tickets from another one of Tsunami Rose's kits. You get a full page of vintage images, and I just thought it looked like some of the characters from the books. So I stuck that in and done a bit of a collage, which is inspired by Daisy Collins' own work that I've seen here on YouTube. So I've turned that into a bit of a pocket page with the excess that was left on when I printed it out. That's the Martha Stewart bunch again. That's those same pages I've just shrunk down and used as a flip book. And that's the library tickets which I've shrunk down and used the butterfly one before. Pink lined paper, that's some handmade, I think it's handmade paper. It was sent to me in a swap, and it's actually got some gold chain stitch on it. And then inspired by Daisy Collins again, I added the stitching on from my sewing machine. That's just I think it's Kaiser Crafts stamp, just a lace stamp, and added that on there for a bit of interest. Another charm there. I really like this page. Now I haven't finished off the signature. I'm not sure what I want to do with it. I might leave it blank so you can add your own beads or charms on, or I'll see how it goes. I really like the pink. I'm not usually a very girly girl, but that's a flip out page. I've added some washi on there and some rose tape. That's the other side of that chain stitched paper. Stamp there, and this is one of Daisy's flower pages, and then I've just fuzzy cut that and added a little ticket from a different kit. Doily with the collage of flowers again. That's one of her teacup kits. It gets teapots in it as well. You'll see some, I think, further on in this album. Bingo card from one of the kits, and the planner ones, and then these ones are the Jane Austen telegram that's shrunk down, and that's another one of her tags. And that's a tuck spot there. That's the same reflective idea again. The other side and page of the envelope pockets. That's one of Tsunami Rose's free printables that you can get from her blog site. So if you've not tried digital kits, it's a great way to try it. But even the prices that Daisy offers her kits on is, you might as well buy the entire kits. That's a Jane Austen tag. This is another release that she's had of the music papers. I always used to have trouble getting music papers, so Daisy, thank you so much for putting this together. I'm not going to be short of music papers now. I struggle to find them, so this is a really big help. Things to do list there again. This is another one from Kirsty Designs, sorry, I really should have checked before filming, but that was another one which I thought they kind of looked like characters from her book again. So you could stick it down and maybe write, if you like doing book reviews, you could write in about it there. It's the Jane Austen kit again. The Jane Austen tags. And that's a postcard from one of her other kits. And that flips out for a bit of extra journaling space there. And that's the end of the first signature. Now the rest of the signatures are like that, so I'll just try flipping through quickly so I don't take up too much of your time. The Jane Austen tags. I'll just point out the Jane Austen ones mostly. That's another. You could use them as pages, cut them up and use them as journaling cards. So lots of variation on what you do with them. Another dangle there. That's the Jane Austen tags, and then postcards from one of her new releases. I can't remember if you get about 25 postcards or more. I like them images, they look like cameos. I accidentally half printed that sheet when my printer stopped working, but I thought it looks nice, so I still included it. Planner sheet with your things to do list again. Another tipping idea from Nazi. Me to bloom. Flip up and flip down. I really like, I don't know if it picks it up, the 3D effect, just by having the same image over one another. But I really like the effect in person. Another fake pocket there with the Stay Positive one. I won't open this up. That's just the back. See, it's already distressed, so you don't even need to distress your pages if you didn't want to. Excuse me. That's another one of the tickets. And a bit of a collage there. Just the pages again, just shrunk down. You can cut it up and use it as 2 journaling cards instead. A different handmade paper sent by the same person I did the swap with. I think I've got a little heart charm there. That's just a ribbon bookmark that I added on as well. It's a 5-hole pamphlet stitch hidden binding system from this journal, in case I didn't mention it. There's the teapots. And another dangle that I made and added on. It's the Jane Austen ones again. I like that image with the red in it. So despite it being tea stained, the red still picked up very nicely. I like that page. It's one of my favourites from the other kits. That's your freebie again. Jane Austen tag. And the music paper, I won't take it out this time. That's another of graphics. So I'll include the link below, so please be sure to check that out. Don't know if it's going to focus on that. Really pretty images. You could even just trim off the top and use it on as covers on your journals as well. And that's one of the postcards as well. This is different to the new release. The new release ones, you get some that are just plain and then some with writing on, so you can use either one. This is onto the third signature. You can use either one depending on the style of your journal. That's a nice image from the Jane Austen. You could use that in one of the, if you're doing like a vintage fashion or sewing journal as well, because look at the outfit, the bulk on that fabric. You can see that tea staining effect that I was saying a bit better on that there. Looks almost like the bark of a tree. About 2 in the morning again when I'm filming this, so I do apologize. If the lighting's not so great. I want to film in natural lighting, but with the weather we've been having, it's been very gloomy. So I waited 2 days before I filmed this. I just gave up and thought, might as well just film it so I can share with you all. This journal will be going up in my Etsy store as well, so if you're interested in purchasing, do pop over. I'll add the links involved below. If you don't have Etsy, just email me. And I only take payment through PayPal. I do ship international as well, but I'll only ship with signed and tracked, which can be expensive, but you know where the item is at all times. It's just peace of mind. The first item usually costs a bit extra, but the second item is not too bad, as long as it's all under 2 kilos. Some more handmade paper. Another dangle there. The middle of the signature and the start of the signature, I've printed those pages on card. It's just something I was just experimenting with, so some more fussy cutting there. And that one there too. I was so tempted to embellish them with a bit more of paper flowers and things like that, but I thought the journal's so chunky anyway, it probably won't close at all. I've already had to redo the cover just because it got so chunky. I think it started off as a 1.5 inch cover, and then as I started adding all these other kits in, it just got quite thick. Don't know if I measured it or not, so I'll pop the size in the description or on the Etsy listing, so you can check it in either of those places. No, I'm putting it in the wrong way. So that's just catching. That's just to show you it doesn't actually stick anywhere. Picture there. This one I can't remember if it actually prints like this. I think my ink was running a bit low, so it might have just not caught the colour right on that one. But it still looked nice for this effect that I was trying to go for. And that's the pocket again, which has been stitched on. And that's an example of the flip books that I've been sharing, where they've been cut up into 2 journaling cards. And that's from the kit as well. So you get the front one and the bottom, this one are both printed together. You can cut them up into individual index cards. I've just turned them into flip books there. I think these two are some of my favourite images as well from these big element cards. As you can see, very chunky again. I think my video's carried on quite a bit. There is an option if you don't want to hear all the chit chat that I've been doing. I think YouTube provides an option where you can watch it in fast forward, so feel free to do that. I'm just going to see if I can measure. Wasn't sure the ball's popping with it. It's about 3 inches, I think. I'd class it as 3 inches. So it's doubled in size and not including everything I wanted. So hope you like it. Thanks for bearing with me all this time, and do pop over to Daisy Collins' shop, Tsunami Rose Designs. You won't be disappointed. Thank you.